Nagpapatuloy ang mga insidente ng walang dahilang pananakit sa mga Asian American sa Estados Unidos at hindi nalilibre dyan ng mga kababayan nating Filipino. Sa report ng ating New Jersey correspondent na si El Aguilar, libo-libong bias incidents na ang naitala mula nang magsimula ang pandemya noong 2020. Kaugnay nito ay makakapanayan po natin ngayon si Ms. JoAnn Fields, isang community advocate at director ng Filipino Resource Center na nakabase sa San Diego sa California. Good day, Mrs. Fields or Miss Fields?
Yes, Ms. Fields. Good morning.
Yes. I hope you are okay today. And there's a report because there's a recent wave of hate crimes, particularly against Asian Americans, has been recorded in various U.S. states. Why do you think these hate crimes are happening, and why are Asians being targeted?
It seems like we are noticing an uptick in the hate crimes against Asian Americans and specifically Filipinos in our larger Filipino communities. Here in San Diego, there was a Lola on public transportation that was attacked about 1 week ago. Fortunately, the suspect has been arrested, and she has received support services from the city of San Diego. So we've noticed this report. We also have heard reports in New York City where a Filipino man was cut across his face. Yeah, slashed across his face on subway. Yeah, so we have to document, we have to report, and that's the message that we want to send out into the community. Because if this is an unfortunate trend, and again, it's been documented, about 2,800 reports of attacks against Asian Americans since the former president was, accusing the coronavirus to be a Chinese virus. So with all us Asians grouped into one, we have felt the attacks, and not only physically, but also verbal abuse. And again, we want to spread the word in the community. If you see something, report it. Because if it's a trend, we have to make sure that our community is vigilant, and so that we can protect ourselves.
Some members of the Asian community are questioning some of these actions, and why the police haven't investigated incidents concerning Asian Americans. And recently there was a reported incident where an elderly Filipino woman was punched in an unprovoked attack on San Diego. That was what you were telling us earlier. And it wasn't categorized as hate crime because according to the police, it was an isolated incident. Is that true? And is there any update on that incident? Was there an arrest? Or I heard that there was an arrest, but he was released without bail.
So I haven't heard about the release, but I did hear about the arrest, that the suspect was arrested later that week on Friday. As far as the category of the hate crime, that is where we are going to meet with the district attorney to receive the details and clarification. How is it not classified as a hate crime? So the follow-up to this incident is that we will be meeting with the district attorney, Summer Stevens, so that, again, that if there is an uptick, if there is a trend, how do we report, and again, to make sure that we are vigilant. The other report that we've heard just yesterday on CNN with another elderly Asian lady that was attacked outside of a bakery in Queens, New York. It was the same thing. She was attacked, but not listed as a hate crime. So this is all new developments that, again, we want the clarification, the actual definition. But again, we are seeing the trend. again, there are 2,800 reports. So it is very noticeable. And here in San Diego, we want to be vigilant. We want to make sure that our community is safe. And in the meantime, we need to just be aware that these things are happening not just in San Diego and not just in the United States. We're hearing this globally. So we really appreciate you amplifying our voices and our concerns so that elected officials, decision makers, and more importantly, the public is aware that this is taking place.
Out of the 2,800 reported incidents, do you have any idea how many are of Filipino descent involved in these unprovoked attacks?
That's another advocacy that we have here in the United States. We need disaggregated data. That is a national organization, Stop AAPI Hate, that is collecting the data. But again, we need to not only advocate that this does not happen, but we need disaggregated data to see if Filipinos have a higher rate of incidents versus other Asians, because it is a large umbrella. At this time, I don't have the data or the numbers to tell us how many Filipinos exactly have been attacked. We're receiving individual reports.
What about the current administration? Has there any actions been taken by the Biden administration on these incidents?
Actually, we're working through our local congressional offices to move in that direction. When we receive confirmation, you'll be the first to know, because again, the Asian umbrella is huge, but in San Diego, nearly half of the Asians residing in San Diego is of Filipino
Mostly
descent.
Filipinos, yeah.
Yes, we are the largest or Filipinos are the largest Asian community in the county of San Diego. We're waiting for the 2020 census numbers, but we are already close to 200,000 residing in San Diego since the 2010 census. So we are a very large constituency, and that's why we're fighting for the disaggregated data, not only for hate crimes, but for other resources, including COVID-19.
Aside from your organization, is there other groups in your community that volunteer to help protect Asian Americans, especially older people? What other community efforts are in place to quash the concerning increase in violence?
We're actually partnering with FALEO, the Filipino American Law Enforcement Organization, headed by Lieutenant Al Ambido, who is also a lieutenant for San Diego Police Department. So we are working with organizations like them so that, again, to increase the awareness and how to better protect ourselves when we are in public.
What message do you want to impart with our kababayans, Ms. Fields?
Yes, thank you. We want to make sure our community is safe. We all matter. We all want to make sure our lolas, our lolos, our family, our friends, our neighbors are safe. So when you see something, please report, because if there is a trend, we will be able to identify what's happening in the community, again, not just in San Diego, but throughout the United States. I know there's a sentiment that we don't report, we don't say something because we are afraid of retaliation. However, that is the best way we can protect ourselves, is to report and share information. So we, again, appreciate that you're amplifying our voices so that we can increase the awareness, again, not just in San Diego, but throughout the whole Filipino community.
One last question. Should our kababayans in the United States avoid or should they be worried being with lots of people around? Are there times that they should be afraid of themselves?
We should never live in fear. We should never live in fear. Most Filipinos came here to the United States chasing the American dream. And this is why we live in life in freedom and to enjoy the amenities that we have here in the States. But again, we have to remain vigilant. It's not just because we live in the United States, it's anywhere. We should never live in fear. We are a great people. We are a resilient community. So again, increase the awareness and just be aware of the surroundings that you're in, and we'll be okay. We should never live in fear.
Yeah, thank you for your time today, Ms. JoAnn Fields.
Thank you for sharing the time.
Yes, and that's our interview with Ms. JoAnn Fields. Siya po ang Community Advocate and Director ng Filipino Resource Center. Sabi niya nga, hindi pa matukoy kung ilang mga Filipino descent ang nagiging biktima nitong hate crimes, pero hindi pa po kasi kinakategorize as hate crimes yung mga unprovoked attacks doon sa mga Asian Americans. Pero ilang mga insidente na kagaya sa New York, merong isa po tayong kababayan na inislash yung kanyang mukha habang siya nandoon sa subway, at meron ding isang kababayan tayong 80 anyos na lola na itinulak. So merong isa na sinuntok. So hindi po biro itong mga bagay na ito at hindi tama na nangyayari dahil tayo pare-parehong mga mamamayan. Kahit ano pa ang ating sabi nga lahi, tayo may karapatang mabuhay.